Okay, and I think we're live. Hi everyone. Welcome to my first cast. We're doing NGS season 13 Division BUS playoffs. Spooky Ghosts versus Artemis. And I also have co-caster Jakey here with me today.
Hello.
So, looks like Spooky Ghosts got first pick, and Artemis got map pick, and they picked Alterac. Okay, and I think we're live.
And what did they ban?
Let's see. Spooky Ghost banned Towers of Doom and Braxis, and then Artemis banned Tomb of the Spider Queen and Volskaya.
Looks like we're heading into the draft.
Yeah.
So I was doing a little bit of scouting on what teams play a lot of, and I noticed for Artemis they have a 95% presence. So it either gets picked or banned 95% of the time. Lost Vikings. So
yes,
I'm very confident we will at least see it banned. I would be surprised if it gets through any of these drafts.
I really hope it does, especially on Alterac. Okay.
Speaking of,
I didn't mean to say it gets banned. I hope it gets picked, but I can only dream for Jotech.
Drana seems like still a very high priority pick even after the nerfs. Its win rate isn't not nearly as high as it was when it was broken.
Yeah.
But still a really versatile tank. And it's good wave clear. So good on literally any map because wave clear is very important in this game of Heroes of the Storm.
Stitches. Honestly, it's really great on Stitches, so I totally saw that coming. And they do run a lot of kidnaps with Medivh. So I think Spooky Ghost has done their homework.
Yeah, Stitches is also banned 9 times, picked 5 times for them. Very, very common pick. Nubrak. That is one of their most played.
Yeah,
6 games, and they've only lost one of them when they got a Nubrak. Also, a Nubrak is in my opinion, very, very strong on this map.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because his beetles are able to tank the little defender dudes on the objective.
Yeah, every time I play in Storm League, like first pick a Nubrak on this map. Not me personally, just like every lobby I go in.
That's a hero that both teams play quite a bit of. It's not something I would generally expect as like a meta priority, but it seems like they're drafting very much for their opponents for this one.
I wonder if they'll pick a healer first. Oh no. They have off-lane Blaze, looks like. I guess.
That says literally nothing about their draft.
Yeah,
they could
yeah,
pick Blaze
absolutely.
Tychus and then pick literally any other 3 heroes, and it would be completely viable. Kael'thas says a little bit more because you already shown that you will have at least a mage, some kind of burst damage with CC follow-up, and a Murden, so they have some sort of light bomb combo going on.
You never know, they could pull out the holy word.
I'd be very surprised to see that against Blaze Stuns, Tychus Grenade.
Yeah.
Like already it seems really, really dangerous.
You're totally right. Probably bandit damage or off lane.
I wouldn't be too surprised. I don't know if the teams play it, but Hogger is a very popular offlane on this map because of his ability to take the little null cap really quickly and on his own. This map revolves a lot around taking that camp on cooldown because it gives you priority in the mid lane. It gives you wave pushing up to their tower. And when you have that, it's a lot easier to walk in and just capture the other team's objective.
Another target ban for honestly with a lot of ETC.
These 2 picks should show us quite a lot more of what they're going to be playing.
Yeah.
I need to figure out the team names. Who's on the right side?
Artemis. The red.
Artemis? Okay.
Yeah.
We will forge a great destiny.
Mephisto and Varian. Could, in theory, still be a tank plays with Varian going for Twin Blades or Colossal Smash, but that sounds unlikely.
I think Taunt is too valuable, especially if you just have Tychus pop % damage on that Taunt target.
Yeah. Minigun with just 3 seconds of CC from Varian Taunt with a Blaze Stun should be enough to melt pretty much anyone on the other team. Unless
even Murden.
Yeah, the Murden would have to get a pull or use Avatar before it goes off to really have any chance of surviving, and Dahaka, if they get CC trained, will just die. Dahaka and Falstad picked up, that's 2 globals for Spooky Ghosts. I was expecting to see a high priority on Dahaka going into this draft, because it's an offlane both teams have played quite a bit of.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Dahaka is just... Dahaka has it all.
Yeah, it really does.
There's no reason not to pick Dahaka.
On smaller maps, it can be a little bit riskier just because you don't get as much value from the global. So you're just playing a slightly weaker hero. But on a big map like Ultrac, it makes a lot of sense. Singular Falstad. White main, I'm happy to see. I'm a white main fan.
Right? I don't think I get to see her enough.
Yeah, seems very reasonable into the other team's composition. They do not have such insane burst. At least just on the face value of it, I don't see them as having such insane burst that the white main won't be able to deal with it. My concern is that maybe if she walks into range of the Murden Light Bomb, and Dahaka can get a flank and follow up from the Light Bomb stun with a tongue, she might just die.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have Gust as well, and Dahaka can just like flank and tongue her, so...
Varian is not so good at peeling off the Murden and the Dahaka. That's not what he's best at as a tank. He's very good at going in and killing one target. Blaze can help out somewhat with the peel for white main, but I could see that being a struggle later on.
Alright, so for Artemis, we have Ashkan on Mephisto, Jotak on Blaze, Dark Horse on Tychus, Seven on White Main, and honestly on Varian. For Spooky Ghosts, we have Collidus?
Let's go Collidus.
They're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce that. A Falstad, Foundry X on Kel'Thas, Anduin is Little Wolf, Eric with a K on Dahaka, and Nullius on Murden. I don't think we'll see any deaths here.
I wouldn't expect to see it. Especially with the Varian being level 1 to 3, not having a taunt, they should be relatively passive.
Right. Looks like Artemis got prio on the wave player in rotation. And they're actually putting Falstad up there instead of Dahaka.
It's reasonable. They have 2 globals, so they can afford to split one and keep the other with the team. I'm somewhat surprised to see Artemis having a rotational advantage, given that Varian is on their team. Oh, that tongue is big. He's going to drop really low here. It might go down.
Oh,
the healing from the white main.
Too much. Dahaka still hasn't picked a talent. Alright.
Don't his talents level 1 stack from Essence?
Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of curious what that's about.
In terms of other level ones, these are mostly expected. Anduin going for Powerwood Shield for a little bit of extra burst protection. Mana Addict is expected for Kel'Thas. Third Wind is one of the options for Murden. You can either go Third Wind or the Block Talent. I think that this one makes a lot of sense because Block Talent is really just good against Varian. Mephisto and Pegasus auto attacks are not hammering, or hammer build for Falstad is explained as well.
Level 4s are online. Varian is no longer a minion.
Taunts the Murden, and Mephisto has some follow-up damage, but Murden is a very chunky lad. Block tosses out. Waves are cleared. Both teams being very, very safe.
Our scouts report that the Horde's keeping some of our soldiers prisoner. Get ready.
I guess this is the matchup they're keeping. Falstad will stay on Blaze. No gank. No gank on the bird.
Objective is spawning, but I wouldn't expect teams to do a whole lot about it until they've gotten their second round of Siege Camp and reached level 7. Unless you have a hero that can solo the objective, that has some sort of summonable minion, it's not super common to see them get fought over.
Right. Looks like Spooky Ghost is definitely gonna have that experience lead with a double global.
Yeah, the Haka catching that full wave in bottom lane where Artemis has not.
I'd like to see how Artemis deals with that.
Varian's coming in, he's going to land a taunt on the Haka, can't burrow while turning.
Oh?
Manages to get the burrow off before the burst comes through and walks out. Essence as well.
I'm assuming one of these teams will go for the objective now.
Dark Horse is starting to clear out the minions. Those will not respawn until it's captured, so a little bit of free value. I think it would be hard for Artemis to start contesting the objective until they have Blaze rotate in, because he's in this matchup against the Falstad.
Yeah, I do see Blaze rotating more often than Falstad, just because, you know, Falstad has a global, but... not a lot of damage there. Big stun from Blaze.
Yeah, taunt into the Blaze stun, landing onto the Kel'Thas, and follow-up damage from Tychus is enough to finish that kill off.
Camps are back up, and I'd like to see Spooky Ghost maybe take that. I don't know if they're waiting to just contest as soon as KT is back up, but...
I mean, it seems like Falstad was just getting siege value in the top lane, and now they're going to go for their camp. They might be giving this objective up. Falstad flew down to help out, but I don't know what he's going to be able to do. That is objective going over for Artemis.
Pens are going to be online pretty soon for both teams, so it looks like Artemis will get this first.
Gonna be close. This is currently a 4v4 in the bottom lane.
It doesn't look like Artemis got their middle camp.
No, Artemis needed to keep members on the objective. Full Commando in, pulls the Murden to safety. Unstoppable for the Tychus, gets him out. The Mephisto gets chunked to half and is isolated, but the shade of Mephisto brings him.
Yeah, they don't get too much from this objective down here.
They get bottom wall, they get some damage on the mid wall and a little damage on the top wall as well.
I don't even think they get this wall, but he did go Holy Word.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I personally love Holy Word, but yeah, obviously it's really hard to get it to channel at all and the full channel. So getting value with it is pretty difficult, especially when they have so much CC.
I think this could actually be really smart, because they don't have that much CC. Yes, they have the Tychus Grenade, Variant Taunt, and Blaze's Jet Propulsion.
Right.
But those are all going to be used on a single target.
Right.
If the Anduin stands just a little bit behind whoever's getting blown up, you can cast that and give a protected status to whoever is getting targeted, and there will not be any CC left to cancel it.
Right, like, just like Alex, you know, you have W, you put it in a safe place, so it doesn't get countered, and similarly with Anduin. Sorry?
You try to, or you can put it really
yeah,
aggressive
you try
and
to.
hope your teammates walk into it.
Or you just wait for the enemy team to pop all their CP, and then use your ult. Alright, just wall down. They might get this fort while Susie Ghost is doing camp. Hung onto Blaze. Able to get away.
The hordes captured more of our troops.
And now these second objective is coming up. Spooky Ghost was actually able to retain a little bit of an experience lead, which is to be expected with their globals.
It's very, very slight. This wave in mid lane should even it out.
It's like there's a rotation coming top.
Hung on to Blaze, cancels the Jet Propulsion, follow up boost from the Anduin. Bunker gets dropped. The hammer is just not able to cancel the second Jet Propulsion. Bunker is a very strong ability. I'm a fan. That was also a good bunker. Saved his life. Also, the CC from Spooky Ghost came down a little bit before their damage rise. So
yeah.
Normally, if the Blaze is CC'd for about 4 seconds, you would be able to kill him, but not quite all there.
You're really making use of these globals. Both teams have 13s now.
In terms of notable heroics.
Burrow, so I don't know if he can get out of this one. Pull from Anduin gets him out. But that was
Anduin is huge against these single target engagements.
But will Anduin make it out?
That's slow from the overkill and grenades gonna finish it off. Jet Propulsion from Blaze would have been another, like, probably 1,000 damage on top of his health bar, so there was no way out from there.
It's like Falstad not going to get a cam. This is offlane Falstad only.
At this point, they don't have a healer, so they can't really contest.
Absolutely.
It's better to just split zones, especially with globals.
It kind of seemed like they want to, but Andrew's just now respawned.
Anduin is going for a build that I don't see very often. It's the full Blind Star build. Hung on to Tychus, unstoppable from the...
Fisto ISO'd and very, very chunked. And they're actually able to get this objective back. Very surprised.
3-man stun from the Kel'Thas.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh no. Now they have the mana and HP advantage, so...
Pawns onto the Haka, full commander and gets into safety. 2-man stun from Blaze. Onto the back line. That's the protected. There's no cancel for it.
And the
Gust from Falstad disengage.
But the minions are able to get the objective back while they were fighting.
Anduin must be paying attention to their cooldown. Because he definitely waited until they burned Jet Propulsion plus Grenade plus Taunt.
Right. Looks like they're being super aggressive. They want this objective back. The Hawk is actually burrowing here. ISO and Blaze. Bunker saves his life.
Murden's way deep in the back.
Yeah, pop Avatar, but can he get out?
Hung onto Blaze.
This is very back and forth. Looks like Mura goes down, Dahaka goes down. And Artemis is gonna have this objective. I'd love to see these healing numbers. They're gonna take mid-court before Pulsar comes. They have the skill advantage. And they have a level 16 Palantir advantage as well.
That level 16 is big.
Yeah. I think they're gonna get this heat with Odin, but we'll see. Blaze is staying in bot.
Kalthas's wave clear seems to be good enough to get the objective out before it gets through the wall.
Objective is gone, so no keep there, but top looks like it'll get pushed for free.
Yeah, they have to respond to bot lane.
Yeah.
There's another full health objective. Although this time there is an Odin pushing with it, so significantly less pressure. And they've also reached level 16 themselves.
Yeah, it's got 16 so I'm expecting to see Artemis back here. They do. Top goes down. Playing a pretty safe game here.
One thing that I've seen Spooky Ghost do in these fights a couple of times is focus the Mephisto when he's used Shade to go in. Like, the isolations come out on him, and he's been choked down to half, but it doesn't seem like they have quite enough burst to completely 100 to 0 him before he teleports back.
Just goes back, yeah. Like, they're opting to do boss, and I think Spooky Ghost checked bot to see if they were doing it. I would have loved to see them do it also if they knew that Artemis was on boss.
It is definitely a risk to do it, because they don't know exactly when Artemis started. Now they're going to it.
Yeah, I really don't think they have enough time. But they do have Gust, so...
the false stat is not there. He's flying down bot lane now. The Haka, using that bow, knocks the Blaze back, does not get stunned.
Making some space so they can clear this
seems
boss.
like this is just a great boss trade.
But boss is pushing top.
I guess Artemis as well did not know when Spooky Ghost started the boss.
Yeah. It looked like they were gonna go down for, you know, the rotate to check, and they were gonna make it on time.
Just makes that just die. I would not expect these bosses to do a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, they have this fort here still. It's already almost halfway. But wall is
it
gone.
gets no value. I don't... Was that wall?
I think some of it was still there before the boss got there.
Okay. And it gets half the forward and bot lane for Spooky Ghost.
Looks like they're gonna take their camp, just respond.
Okay. I'm glad Anduin did go for a second try to leave the fight.
I feel like double pull is... It's so hard to pass up.
Yeah. Also, I saw earlier that increased move speed from Tunneling Claws 16 for Haka.
Yeah.
Really huge in getting him out of that mid lane.
Yeah. He seems like he's getting ganked a lot and getting value from that.
The Burr talents at 4 and 16 are very strong.
So this is pre-20 for both teams.
Yes, but Artemis has a full level lead over Spooky Ghost, so they will hit 20 first, and they will have an opportunity.
I wonder if Spooky Ghost will try to force a fight here. So they're not... Oh.
They should just back off.
Yeah.
My only question is, will they get the objective before they can take an even 20 fight?
I don't think so. They have a whole level in some change to get through.
Yeah, I don't know if 50 seconds is enough time.
Yeah.
I think that they can afford to give this objective. I don't think it'll end unless there's some...
The problem
unless
is
they
that,
get a couple kills.
Artemis will probably get at least one keep, which will remove a third of this defense, and most teams won't go in after only one has gone down, but if they get a team wipe, it's entirely possible.
I'd actually expect them to get 2 or 3 keeps off this objective, because they have no walls left. And if all 5 members of Artemis push in one lane, they have to send at least 4 to respond. They can't just let the Odin, the big red button, Odin, free hit on the fort and expect it to live. So I'd expect the one to fall and then at least one of the ones in the other ones to fall.
Alright.
That is objective for Artemis, and they're just a quarter of a level away from playing their spooky ghosts. This objective does give spell power and movement speed to allies in its radius, so it's not one you want to be fighting.
We are getting 20 right now, so even 20s, but full health objectives.
That's the 20s. That's invulnerable on the protection. Living bomb spread for tail toss. Rewind for
invulnerable on everyone except for Anduin.
Yeah, the isolation upgrade and then mighty dust as expected. That's 2 keeps going down.
Yeah.
This third one is a little delayed, so Spooky Gusts have some time to clear the one in bot lane. Not going to get much damage on their core.
Are they going to finish this off? Yes, they will.
And
That's all the
top keep
keeps.
is very low.
So,
Tongue on the Tychus, getting dragged into the team. Anduin uses the invulnerable. Mighty Gust isolating the Tychus.
But
the damage is not there. He's alive still. Drops down to a quarter HP, gets in the bunker, but he will not live.
Big Durance.
Big Durance gets that level 20 value for the Mephisto. Tons of damage, tons of resets, gets 2 kills onto the Murder and the Hawk. They got trapped in that Durance so
Oh?
this is
Chastise on Jose?
Taunt onto the Anduin, and that's going to be enough damage to kill him, but Spread from the Living Bomb takes out the White Mane and spreads onto the Blade.
There was the
False
interrupt on
dropping
that
super low and can't get the trade kill onto Blade. This is currently a 1v3 on the core.
Kinda looks like they're looking to end. I don't know if they have the health pool for this, but...
The only thing, they have very little siege damage. Mephisto can't get resets on the core. And he just used this burst before the Varian went into the top. If these Living Bombs spread, that might be enough damage. Oh, it's not spread.
Oh, wow.
2 tanks just bash this.
This looks like
Poor
game. The
The
Hawk and Murden are back up in 10 seconds.
That is game 1 for Artemis.
That was a really clean game by Artemis. They only lost 1 fort. Wow.
Lost 1 fort, didn't lose a single objective. Didn't lose a single fight. The only 2 people died. It's just 1 death on the Tychus, 1 death on the White Mane. Which makes sense. Those are the 2 targets. But did not seem like Spooky Ghost had enough damage to get through the White Mane healing. That Tychus was isolated for so long and just kept staying alive.
In the gust, yeah.
He was stuck in the gust, got tongued into the team.
Great
it was
cleanses,
like 5
though,
straight
by White
seconds.
Mane.
But yeah, just the armor from the Odin, getting in the bunker, getting armor, getting out, heals from the White Mane. So much to keep him alive.
Blaze did a really good job of staying on top of the camps, the macro. That's a lot of soak.
Yeah.
Beating out
And
both
also,
globals is really insane.
In team fights, I was noticing Blaze able to put oil down and prevent the Anduin from running away. Anduin really wants to be sitting in the back line against them and not be getting engaged on, but if he's getting his movement disrupted like that, he doesn't have a dash. He can't really get out of it super easily. It's really annoying to play against.
This full living bomb, which didn't seem to get like a ton of value.
Their globals did not get a ton.
No. Right, yeah.
They did not have an XP lead. Artemis was keeping up very handily. Blaze helping a lot with that. And then they also weren't able to get any numbers advantages on fights because
Right.
Falstad was matching Blaze in the offlane.
Mm-hmm.
So in that matchup, I don't know it well myself, but Blaze was consistently pushing waves into the Falstad, so he was able to move first to match the global every single time.
All right. Let's go back to the maps and see.
Do you know what map we're going to next?
I do not, but
I want to see a game 3, so
yeah, I always.
I know I'm
see a game
supposed to be
3.
unbiased caster, blah blah blah, but I want to see game 3.
I mean, I don't think that means you're biased. It just means
Oh,
they
I'm
each
biased, I
win
promise.
one. It's pretty equal if you ask me.
Okay. 1 is pretty close to 0. I mean, on the grand scale of things, 1 is pretty much equal to 0. So.
All right, that's caster math. Leave me out of this.
Yeah, and pi equals 4.
Please stop.
I mean, it's close enough if you just need an estimate.
So as far as the current standings for Division B West, Spooky Ghost was number 3 with 17 points, and Artemis was number 6 with 12.
So this is their first round of playoffs, then.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, this is the first round of playoffs, so I hope so. Were they a single round robin division?
Yeah, they are.
Because if they were double round robin, I think that would only be top 4 making playoffs. What do you think Spooky Ghost should change about their draft for game 2?
I think they overcompensated on the globals, and suffered during the team fights. Like that was pretty clear. But at the same time, Falstad and Dahaka, they're still pretty decent in team fights. So it seemed a bit more of like micro execution. Just maybe slightly less coordination or really good sustain on the side of Artemis, with White Mane healing. Having Blaze as an off lane. Blaze is super tanky, and so is Dahaka. I would have loved to actually see Light Bomb there, yeah. I prefer Holy Word, and I like save ults, but if they had a more aggressive solution in the team fights, I feel like they could have gotten a numbers advantage at some point.
Looking back on that last fight specifically,
Mm-hmm.
the Holy Word was used. I don't think it got cancelled, or if it did get cancelled, it got a good bit of value beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But it was at a time when the gust was going off, so they weren't really getting hit through it. It wasn't protecting anyone from damage. Maybe Light Bomb would have been a better, like, more proactive choice. Like, you can gust people into a wall and then combo that into a Light Bomb.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is as far as I would have liked to see Spooky Ghost do differently, because the gust pinned them, but there wasn't a lot of follow up.
The living bomb spread as well on CC targets, because those are such long stuns. Like Mighty Gust is 4 seconds of just you can't move.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really obnoxious to play against.
Let me go ahead and invite you to this lobby. Looks like Spooky Ghost. Yeah, pick Battlefield of Eternity.
I have not played this map in NGS.
I think I have, and I think we have like 100% win rate on it, but it was only like three games maybe.
We always ban it.
Because... Why is that? Tell me your secrets.
Our secret is that we're not good at the map, so we ban it.
That's not a secret.
I mean, if you look at literally any of our matches, you'll see that, yeah, we banned it. I still like the map, though. It's a lot of fun. It brings out really different drafts from a lot of different maps. In my opinion, the drafts on BOE are the most different from any other map. Like this one's the most unique in terms
I
of
see, I
draft
see.
strategy.
Yeah,
Just because race is so important.
top racers we'll probably see are like Hanzo, Bala Rainer, or Artemis.
Li Ming, definitely.
Li Ming, yeah.
I would expect Li Ming and Hanzo to both have a presence in this.
Yeah.
And maybe the TLV will get through this time, because it's not generally seen as much of a threat on the 2-lane maps.
I know not to underestimate Jotag's TLV in a 2-lane map, but we'll see if it gets banned. I think Spooky Ghost will just probably ban it to be safe rather than
Did they switch sides, or are these the same sides?
These are the same sides.
Okay. Then if they let the TLV through, there's a chance that they'll pick the Kael'thas again and build that same living bomb build, and try to abuse the TLV with that. Because that is definitely a viable way to play against it. Or it's sort of a soft counter to TLV, because I know that you can separate the Vikings, but it requires more effort than it would take with any other hero to walk away from all of your teammates, because you're playing 3 of your teammates.
Chat says, give us TLV. I want to see it too. It's not fair.
Is that Ryan?
No. It's Saika.
I would have expected that to be Ryan.
I mean, who doesn't love TLV?
True. I mean, I kind of hate TLV.
I was gonna say, people who can't play TLV don't love TLV.
It's not it. I just don't like the idea. I think it's bad.
In what way? That it's like 3 heroes, or?
Yeah. It's just too unique of a thing. Like, it's just too different from what every other hero does.
Really? I love the unique heroes about this game, like Deathwing, who can't be CC'd, and Abathur, who can sit and base the whole game and still get value.
I also dislike Abathur.
Okay.
I dislike global heroes in general. That's
I see.
Bit of a hot take, but that's
one of my favorite
I don't
things
like
about
people
this
that
game,
can be
though.
multiple places at once.
It's how different it could be, even with the talents. You could like Varian can be an assassin, a tank, a bruiser.
If all of the global teleportation stuff was on level 10s, I wouldn't mind it nearly as much.
I see.
But stuff like Brightwing, where you're a healer, but you can just like sit and catch minions for however long you want and then teleport the team. It's very good when used well.
Alright, looks like Spooky Ghost is ready. Just waiting on Artemis.
That looks like you're ready from both teams. So we should be getting into draft very, very soon. Are there any picks you think shouldn't be allowed to get through from game 1? Or do you think the map is different enough?
I think Blaze. Was a really powerful force, and on a 2-lane map where he doesn't need to like double soak or anything like that. And he can come back into the fight and get those big stuns. It's super valuable.
Blaze is one of the most played offlaners. Blaze and Dahaka are the 2 most played offlaners for Spooky Ghosts. So there's a chance they first pick it to take it away instead of banning it.
That's true, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try to ban out one of Blaze or Dahaka and pick the other one, as those seem to be the highest priority offlanes.
I don't think I'll see Dahaka here since it is a 2-lane map, but
that's true.
I'm expecting a Diablo. Diablo's very powerful on this map with all the walls.
Which team would you expect to pick Diablo more?
I'm not sure. I think Spooky Ghost.
Well, they haven't played a single match of it. Artemis has played 4 Diablo matches.
Right.
They played one on Volskaya, one on Towers of Doom, a second on Volskaya and one on D-Shire. So 2 Volskaya, D-Shire, and Tower City.
What's the win rate look like?
25. But it's only 4 games, so
right, yeah.
Can't get too crazy. Volaban for Spooky Ghost. Vala, strong race with the Q build.
Yeah.
You have the monster, increased damage to monsters at level 7.
The Johanna ban.
I'm a big fan of Johanna on this map when you can get it. Just because having blinds, same thing with Artemis with the suppression.
Right.
Having blinds can slow down the other team's race a ton.
Yeah. Especially with the double blinds on Joe. I can see why they did that. Being second pick also. Still very powerful. Even though she got a bit of nerfs.
Also, Johanna very good at checking bushes with that
yeah.
blind. There's a lot of things that Johanna's good at.
The white main, the respect ban.
Yeah, white main was doing a ton of work in that last match. They were just not...
It flew under my radar a little bit, but like... Artemis was not dying that game.
No, they were not. We were talking about the Tychus, just live forever.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see the Tychus again. I don't see him as often on BOE, but it is still good.
Have a new brag ban.
I think that's the same bans for Artemis. Not too surprised to see the Nubrak even on one of his less popular maps, just because of how good their win rate, how good Spooky Ghost's win rate on Nubrak is. 5-1 on that hero.
First pick Jakeyaz.
It's about damn time.
That's a little bit unexpected. I don't think of Jakeyaz as being the highest priority racer on this map. And race is really good to prioritize, because if the other team drafts all the strongest race heroes, you're kind of out of luck. I'd expect one of Hanzo or Li Ming to be picked by Artemis here, and something else.
I mean, some teams will opt to go straight for team fights rather than race. There's the Li Ming.
Yeah. ETC Li Ming, it can be a hard combo to play, just because ETC is a tank with displacement. But I'm going to assume that they've practiced it and give them the benefit of the doubt. I can check, see if they've played it together in any matches.
Fight time!
A Brightwing.
My blades are yours.
Also 2 heroes I don't generally see on this map.
Sonya's not too rare. She can take the Bruiser camp and the Siege camps pretty easily. Brightwing, I also actually see relatively common, and I think that as a counter to ETC.
Oh, I see.
Because if ETC slides in, Brightwing can cancel it. If ETC moshes, Brightwing can cancel it. Or not cancel the slide, but like you can prevent the follow-up displacement. Poly is very strong against a lot of tanks. Diablo and ETC specifically, because they're combo reliant.
Expecting an offlane ban here. Spooky Ghost opted to show their offlane, so now Artemis can... Oh! Uther! What does that mean? I feel like that clues in what they might be picking with an Uther ban.
I feel like Anduin's just better than Uther at what they're banning Uther for. Because I think they're banning Uther because they don't want to deal with D-Shield. But
I see.
Pull is often just better than a D-Shield. And you get it... A lot of that is because you get it at level 1.
I mean, Uther has a lot of armor, and then so does ETC. But they
sure, but they have Tychus. They have percent damage to shred through the armor because it ignores it, so I wouldn't be too concerned. There is the Anduin, and then Raynor, another strong racer. I'm heavily favoring Artemis' draft at this point. Although, to be fair, Spooky Ghosts have 3 heroes which can go pretty much anywhere. Once again, the team that gets the pick, or one of the teams, has shown absolutely nothing about their draft. I'm glad that they opted into some amount of race. Grey Mane. With that, Worgen form can shred through neutral objective. Or if that sheds
Oh my god, I forgot! The Vikings! I'm so happy to see it.
They did not respect it. That Uther ban feels super weird to me.
Yeah, that should have been a Vikings ban.
I don't know if it was supposed to be a Vikings ban, but
wild either way.
I would have definitely wanted an Anduin ban, honestly. I think that's the most meta thing.
Yeah.
Although, if you're leaping on top of the Anduin and then polymorphing it, Mei dives in, Tychus dives in, or Tychus short range, so has to dive in. Greymane jumps on top of him. Maybe ETC can feel it, maybe he can't. It'll be hard. But I do favor Artemis because I think their race is quite a bit stronger.
Yeah.
Maybe we see a drill from Tychus for more race.
That's entirely possible. And like Drill and Poly could just absolutely delete ETC along with Greymane, so ETC is one of the less tankier tanks.
Polymorph is their only good cancel for Marsh, so I hope they save it.
They have Tychus Grenade and...
Oh, true.
Yeah, I think that's about it as far as like...
You can leap on it.
Easily, yeah. I mean, there's Mei icing, but that would be very, very hard to execute.
Oh, you have to time it.
Oh, we have a dance party with honestly an ETC, Oshkosh on Lee Main, Dark Horse on Rainer, Jotek on Vikings, Bevan on Anduin, Boundary X on Greymane, Nullius on Mei, Little Wolf on Brightwing, Politis on Titan, and Eric with a K on Sonya. I am interested to see how Sonya fares with the Vikings. Theoretically, she could do a ton of healing.
I definitely read Sonya's name as Eric with AK.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a common read.
Yeah. It being all lowercase will help. It's very quiet.
Talents, Hyper Shift level 1 for Brightwing is the meta one. Li Ming, sometimes you see the Orb talent at level 1, but they're opting for the E talent. Gives you a little bit of extra damage on the magic missiles. When you teleport, it makes your teleport cost no mana.
This looks like this is, yeah, potentially Calamity.
A lot of times you see people go Seeker just for the extra base. That is Spooky Ghost starting up the bottom camps, but Rainer has rotated out top lane. Brightwing has as well, and I think that the Sonya wins this fight on the objective with spin against the Viking.
Well, Rainer's also there, and I don't think Sonya and Brightwing have a lot of damage.
Maybe. Would have been risky, for sure.
Rainer's coming back down. Brightwing still staying top.
Sonya needing a bit of help with the early Viking. But it's fine. They're getting soaked in bot lane. Sitting back.
Looks like they're gonna start.
Yep. Both teams starting to cap. They should cap them a little after the objective gets announced, so that as the objective is spawning, they're entering the lane. That way, you can, if the other team doesn't do this, you can get a numbers advantage by forcing the other team to clear it during the objective.
Looks like Artemis object figures a little early. I would say this is also early.
It's less early, but also early. Because as you can see, it's entering the top lane when there's still 15 seconds left in the bottom lane.
So get some time to clear.
Yeah.
But both teams did it, so...
One
oh no!
R.I.P. Daylog.
You learned their names!
It says the name.
Okay. I was watching your cast, and you called them the red, green, and blue Vikings.
I also thought that it was funny to say at the time, so I just went with it. It's a slide onto the Mei, gets booped back, but You can just walk out, didn't even have to use the icing. I would expect her to just be blinding the Rainer occasionally, try to slow that down. Slide on grenade from the
Oh, this is
EPC,
just very
getting
even
bullied
race.
out, uses icing to escape. I think that's what happened. I didn't actually see it. I was just looking at the map. This is going to be a tight race in the offensive position. ETC trying to bully them off. Tychus not hitting the Immortal. I don't think that Tychus not hitting it prevented them from winning it. I think Artemis had the better race there, but he probably should have been hitting it.
I definitely saw a little more coordination as far as these 4 people race, this person peels, whereas on Spooky Ghost I was seeing a little bit of separation.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made the call to try to kill the ETC, but he was not quite prepared.
I think we have Brightman down here dealing with Vikings.
Makes sense. I wouldn't expect this to do much damage to the fort unless Demon gets good poke. They haven't taken their level 7 yet, so I don't know if they're going to be going Secret. That is Calamity.
Oh, it is Calamity.
Calamity with the Orb level 4, just because the Orb level 4 is insane.
These Vikings are a force to be reckoned with. This is a outnumbered contest top in favor of Artemis. Ike is going in pretty deep to contest.
And when it just misses. Oh,
but
May
the
stun on the
EPC?
EPC, all gonna get him out for safety.
Orb on
Missiles from the
Tychus.
May. Missiles no just getting him super low.
Very back and forth, but
If Right Wing doesn't land those, doesn't land Fairy Dust in time, that burst is gonna be super good for Artemis. Fairy Dust giving 30 spell armor can be upgraded to 50 at level 13, but oftentimes people go for the increased hit.
it looks like Sonya stole this camp from Vikings.
I mean, with that level 7 life funnel, it's really hard for Vikings to stand on point with the Sonya. You can just heal forever.
Shall return before long, heroes.
Once again, Tychus going grenades with In the Rhythm. I don't think In the Rhythm is particularly good here. I would have wanted to see Master Assassin just because it's damage on the Immortal instead of just on heroes. Oh,
I don't think we have a full.
that's
He
good
just used
combo.
it. Yeah, Rainer's gone. That's a big part of their race.
This should be advantage for Spooky Ghost. If they get another pick here, they should just win this race outright.
He's feeling as best as he can, but the race is
Also,
definitely
lack of
going to
Seeker
be
is going to make this a lot harder for them
Right?
to do
No
it. Just
Seeker,
'cause-
no Rainer.
yeah. With going that Calamity build, they're much more reliant on the Rainer for race.
Looks like
Turn
they're
off
gonna
and
try
kick.
and stop them from taking it with a team fight. 310.
Oh, Immortal Stun lands onto Tychus, combo onto the Greyman, and it rolls out for safety. May icings in for some displacement,
Looks like you're still gonna get the Immortal.
fight over the orbs. They're just gonna both get picked up by Spooky Ghosts.
They're going in. Only getting super chunked, looking for
She's
a
fine.
leap, but
Those minions are actually getting like a quarter of the fort in top lane because they weren't responded to.
Dwindles before me.
alright, this one's got a pretty big shield, so
Level 10s come through, that is Odin, not Drill for Tychus. We have Go for the Throats for Greymane. I would have expected Cursed Bullet trying to push down ETC. Leap for Sonya, Avalanche for May. That makes sense, another way to cancel Mosh. And also displacement. The Blink Heal. ETC going in super far. Does not need the Pokemon safety.
fort is pretty low, halfway, and they only had 3 people up there,
I'm happy to see a light bomb in this game.
right? We've got the Raider, Disintegrate, Play Again, and Mosh Pit. Sonya won this last time, and Brainwing's coming in, so...
Vikings cannot fight the Sonya at this point.
And Baylog goes down. However, Mosh on May.
Mosh on May, and they do not have a cancel fort. So May will die. And that is the fort in the top lane, going up in favor of Artemis. This is quite a bit of pressure into the bot lane fort, but these two will get caught out if they don't back away.
Yep. They're here. Let's see what happens to Sonya. Sonya's really in there. Leap out.
Stun from the Aegis. You follow up route from Anduin, and that's Disintegrate, just dealing enough sustained damage with the Rainer.
But
they will get that fort, however, which is great. That actually favors Spooky Ghosts, as they also have that top lane fort at half. So they're currently ahead in structures and even in levels.
They did take their camp pretty early though, and they
use
it to push, so they won't have it during this objective.
Also, their base is slower, and these are not good positions for if your race is slower.
Repent before my wrath, demon.
That Immortal is dying so fast.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually pretty close towards the end.
It's pretty close, as in the bars are somewhat close, but
yeah, it's like 5,000.
as a percent, that's a lot. Spooky Ghosts are taking up this defensive position.
Right.
Because they can't win the race.
Have
Unfortunately,
that camp, though.
That camp is on the opposite side also.
Right.
So it's going to be a slow rotation. And Li Ming is just going to be poking in on this Immortal.
Right. They need to just go in because they're losing time and...
They're sending Brightwing to clear it out.
Yeah.
Makes sense. There's a global. Slide from ETC on the 2. Will not mind.
Brightwing for now.
Brightwing getting chunked to half. Brightwing still isn't here yet. Phase shift onto the May, but it'll take a minute to heal everyone. Leap in onto ETC. Light bomb from the Anduin whiffs. Mosh gets immediately cancelled. Big orb onto 2. Sonya's out of the fight. May is dropping super low reset for the Li Ming. She gets avalanched out. Odin used for the Tychus.
Looks like you're just trying to burn the rest of it, but...
Kill Viking and kill the Anduin.
Oh my goodness.
Rainer, that heal should be enough to get him out with the...
13 was a decent time spent with he goes. I wonder if the Lost Vikings are going to finish this off. It looks like it.
Maybe. I think Li Ming is going to do more to finish it off than Vikings. Just because significant range damage. Either way. Yeah. There is a half shield Immortal going into the bottom lane. They should be able to get the fort with this, and maybe some damage on the wall, but anything more than the fort would be exceptional.
Lots of ults are still down.
Leaf is up there. Seems like this is going to be the fort falling in bottom lane. Sonya trying to get the trade forward in top lane, and I think she'll be able to, because there's only one Viking defending it for now.
Right wing TP top.
Immortal's at half. Because right wing TP top, they might be able to continue poking with the Li Ming at this fort, or at this keep. But Odin should help the push. Sonya needs to be careful at this point, because they could make the rotation towards top lane. Looks like that's what they're doing.
Poor Baylog.
Poor Baylog.
Baylog has gotten the most steps for game.
Oh, ETZ stun onto the Sonya. Multiple orbs, and then disintegrate to finish the kill.
Looks like an invade with the numbers advantage.
They do have avalanche with one, but that's not going to secure. Phase
light
shift
bomb.
for the
Brightwing.
Bright.
Mosh on Brightwing only, but it's enough.
The grenade was not as effective. Greymane tried to use Go for the Throat to one-shot the ETC, but it was just not quite enough.
Yeah,
damage.
I
think he
saw
had some blocks
Anduin
there.
Desperate Prayer there to keep him alive,
Yeah.
and
That should be this bottom floor falling. And a significant lead now for Artemis. They're up a full level and have a structure advantage in both lanes. So that's casual pressure for them in both top and bottom. Along with that, they have Viking pressure in both top and bottom.
right. Do you feel like Vikings were strangely extra value this game, or do you feel like any other
I think any
offlaner?
offlaner.
Right. I'm feeling the same way about it. I think this is just technical skill from the player that's
clearly.
getting value.
This has been very good Vikings play,
Yeah.
and I think that you could accomplish the same things that the Vikings did this game with another offlaner
Right.
and much less skill.
Yes, I
Leap
agree.
from the-
Leap on
leap
the
onto
knee. Oh well, and Balog.
Eric runs away though.
You can't kill Eric. Look at how fast he is. Look at him go.
He's so fast.
They're trying so hard. Oh, we got
I
Let's
think that
Play coming
Greymane-
out. They're actually opting to do this camp instead of continuing to burn.
I mean, the other team just doesn't have threat. Like, their race is so much better. Just does not. Oh, but they lost.
Another Balog thing. They have very, very hard macro pressure going. Somebody's gonna have to back for this unless they want to take core damage. And it looks like it's gonna be May. So,
They're just going to tap. No, they're not
Oh.
backing.
not backing.
They just keep looking for kills on Viking, but they need to kill this Leaning and Rainer. if they
I'm
want
seeing a tank Vikings game here.
it. Honestly, that's kind of the role they're filling.
Yeah.
They're being so annoying. Just goofing around everywhere they want to and not letting the other team play how they want to.
So it looks like Brightwing is opting to back for this.
It's kind of like the
Getting
role
his
of a
shields.
Lior.
Right?
You just goof around in the back line. Maybe you die, but you have a faster respawn. Oh,
Brightwing's not
Greymane
out.
using the dash on
Oh
3PC.
gosh!
And
If it gets a kill, it gets a kill.
yeah, that's totally worth it. Oh, Immortal stun
Yeah.
on the ETC, and he's gonna fall to grenade plus Tychus damage. That is Immortal for Artemis. And that's top keep as well. The camp was not cleared out.
I mean, I can see why Spooky Ghost ignored it because this Immortal may be game. Eric.
Maybe. No more Vikings. And no play again. Oh, play again and one. Never mind.
Immortal coming down. No 20s yet for either team, but Remy not back for a little bit, and ETC won't be there for this objective. So it will be more advantageous for Spooky Ghost in this team fight, but they will be having to defend the Immortal.
I don't think that they're gonna be able to do. Leap on
Right.
Lu Ming, pull
It's-
from Anduin,
Super healthy.
trying to kill the Vikings. Raymane goes in, but gets blasted away by the Rainer. They're just gonna turn around and try to put him in.
Right. Successfully pushed him away, but
Rainer walks back in. Rainer takes quite a bit of damage, but has his main kill to get to safety.
But he will rise again in time.
looks like they're taking a flank
This is 20
position.
advantage. This fight is super risky for Spooky Ghosts.
Right. Vikings
But-
taking their
Oh,
camp.
Vikings aren't here. They don't
And-
want to take the fight 4v5. Even up 20.
Good pull out for ETC. Very sneaky.
That was a very conservative pull.
Right.
Vikings
I
trying
think
to kill the
ETC
Rainer.
had just used Power Slide though, so Anduin was trying to make sure nothing happened. Super crucial time towards the end
Definitely
game.
Blue
defensible.
team's core is under attack.
Another flank position for Sonya and May. It's pretty dangerous. Oh my gosh!
Four in the avalanche.
Oh my gosh!
That was a
Big
great combo.
combo!
Death Mosh though on the
Deathmatch,
3.
though.
But that's Megan fall.
So it's a... I'll call it 3 for 1. 2 Vikings will be 1.
That's 2.5. Vikings are according
Master
to
math is really hard. We got Let's
now they
Play,
can go and
though.
die and get resurrected again.
Oh, almost got that Bright Wing. Okay, now it's actually 3 down.
No, because
Oh,
they just respawn because they're level 20.
Oh my god.
And Spooky Ghosts were not prepared there.
This is a new main tank Vikings meta.
I guess so.
Alright, both teams up into race.
Currently, this is a numbers advantage for Spooky Ghosts, but and Artemis is missing one of their racers, so Spooky Ghosts should have a significant advantage.
Vikings could be racing, but they're pushing the lanes out and putting macro pressure on Spooky Ghosts. They will have to respond.
Even if the Vikings were racing, I'd still favor Spooky Ghosts, just because their 2 DPS are alive and hitting the Immortal, whereas Leeming was dead. Even though they'll get this objective, or will they?
Solo mark from Sonya.
Combo from Leeming and Rainer damage is enough to finish it off.
DPC response in time to stop them from getting the objective.
This is Big Red Button Broden, so that's a lot of defensive siege coming out for quite a while.
Right, but no front line
Leeming...
since May is back here clearing katas.
Yeah. They're having to send 2 members back to just clear waves.
And this is why you ban Vikings. Oh no, EGG's burn this escape. Avalanche on Anduin.
Body blocks from the right wing, keeping the ETC in a terrible spot.
Deathmatch creating space to finish this Immortal, but Vikings are on board! Oh my goodness!
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, they get the objective and they're coring.
I think that's just game. Vikings end it.
Yeah.
GG.
This series goes to Artemis.
I was not expecting that.
No.
I have learned my lesson. I will always ban Vikings against.
You're welcome. Wow. At first I was like, yeah, any offlaner can do what Vikings are doing. They tanked really so much and they cored. That was so ridiculous.
I did not know what that Vikings level 20 did until I just saw it used that way. They literally cast it to resurrect their Vikings, then ran in, just tried to all in the Bright Wing for free, because they're just going to respawn in another 10 seconds.
Yeah. Wow. That was pretty clean by Artemis. It kind of felt like Spooky Ghost had tools, but we're really only able to execute big combos once or twice.
I really thought that they were making a comeback there when they had numbers advantage on the Immortal. I was convinced that they were going to get it, but
and Artemis was opting to do the camp, and because their tank was down, and it seemed like they were giving up the objective. But once ETC got there, they backed off.
Well, the moment that they got their tank back up, ETC immediately just slide in with Light Bomb, solo Mosh your Sonya, and Leeming follow-up is going to be enough to get that kill.
Well, like I said, they were missing their front line because May and I think Greymane?
May and Greymane
had to deal with Vikings.
I remember if Greymane went back to that point, but May could not deal with it on her own.
Change the score here, and maybe we'll get an interview.
Maybe Sonya could have dealt with it on her own, but that just when you have 2 keeps down and you're constant catapult pressure in both lanes with Vikings pushing in, it feels like you do need 2 people to defend there. And that just, you can't win race anymore at that point. Also, they were disadvantaged, in my opinion, on race just to start with, because they didn't have the Leeming. They were stuck with Greymane for race.
Let me see if... I believe, honestly, will do an interview with me.
Okay.
If I can pull him in here.
Have you prepared some interview questions?
No, I do everything on the fly. It's living on the edge, you know what I mean?
No other way to do it.
Let me get him a link here. I feel like not only did Artemis do a good job in their micro, but drafting too. I feel like drafting really helped them, especially in that game.
Hello? Someone here?
Oh,
Honestly? Is that you? The honestly?
that is the honestly, seriously.
Well, honestly.
Okay, how do you feel? Were you guys expecting to win this? Were you feeling confident?
We were nervous. The series we had with them at the end of the season went back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
pretty good.
Yeah.
We beat them in game 1, and then they came back to beat us the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, it feels good to get the 2-0 here.
Mm-hmm. There were some moments in both of those games that got really tense.
Right.
Like in that last game, that
Avalanche, the 4-person avalanche with
you have 4-person avalanche was huge.
Greymane swiping everybody. That was insane.
I was
Yeah.
more thinking about the last fight on the Immortal when you were down numbers. What were you thinking about during that fight?
We were just saying, hold on, we can defend. And I think at halftime we tried to grab our camp. And then by that time, me and Ash had come back up, and we were able to defend and then kind of push them off for the most part.
Yeah.
I have another question. Did Joe Tack know he was going to play the Vikings? Or sorry, they were going to play the Vikings in that game. And you guys just hit it? Or was it just like, wait a second, Vikings are open? Because we did not realize it until they picked it.
We were going back and forth. We last picked them because we wanted to see kind of what they threw up, and then with the comp that they had, we felt got like the Vikings were a good pick, and they ended up winning the game at the end of it. So
Right, yeah.
But yeah, we felt the macro pressure and the vision and everything that they provided during the Immortal fights,
Right.
just helped give us overall map control. So it was nice.
Yeah, they were doing a really good job tanking the enemy team as well. And, you know, even on a 2-lane map, it's really strong in the right hands.
Yotak is just OP.
Can confirm.
It did look like it, yeah. Do you know why they banned Uther in that game too? That stood out to me as an odd ban.
We've run a couple of double supports in the past. We've never shown Uther, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
I assume it was probably for Holy Cow.
Huh? Is that a
that-
thing?
Holy cow.
Oh, because you can invulnerable the Mosh?
Yeah, you de-shield.
I've never heard it called
ETC.
that, but that's my favorite term of the day.
Yeah, and then Mosh is pretty much uninterruptible.
Okay.
So
Looks like you didn't need it
that's what
though.
we
I
thought.
mean, pretty much every Mosh you had was a kill, so
Yeah.
I got lucky. I probably didn't need to mosh on most of them that we got the kill. We usually.
Right, but I mean, securing a numbers advantage in Battlefield of Eternity is
Hey, I'll take any kind of main advantage in the game. I'll take it.
It's also not easy to find like massive moshes into right wing Tychus.
Right.
Yes, unless I get both of them.
Yeah, unless you get both of them. Tychus's grenade is a little bit slower, so you can get like a second-ish, but right wing can do it pretty much instantly.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you guys. We did want to see a game 3, but you know,
I'll take the 2 games. They were good.
domination. I mean, you guys were playing it pretty cleanly, especially in the first game. So yeah, props to you guys. If you want to make a shout out to your team, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to the team. Shout out to Spooky Ghosts. Both of our series this year have been fantastic. If you haven't watched our first one, go back and watch the first one. It was really fun. Back and forth. Shout out to you, Kala and Jakey, for the cast. And then, shout out to all of our significant others who allow us to stay up late and play video games with our friends.
I feel like you're talking to someone else who's in the room with you.
No, she's in bed. She's in bed right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Y'all have been a lot of fun to interact with. And Jakey for co-casting with me on my first cast. I was super nervous. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna cast Jakey's match on Thursday. So yeah, thank you so much for popping in.
Awesome. Thank you. You both have a fantastic night.
You too. I'm excited to see the rest of that series.
What series?
The rest of the Div West playoffs and yours. I mean, I'm in your division too, and although we got eliminated, I'm rooting for you.
Okay. Ex-teammates stick together.
Okay. Well, I'll probably end it here. Thanks so much for joining me and for everybody who's watching. I love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.